Hello everybody, welcome to the very first video on my new channel. My name is Andre, and today I'll be showing you how to make the classic game Mastermind. So for those of you who don't know, Mastermind is a game where one person selects a combination of colors, usually it's 4, and other people can't see the selection, and they try to guess which colors the first person selected. So this is kind of just to show you what the end product of today will look like, so you can have an idea of what we're working towards. On this channel I plan to show you how to make different PowerPoint games, as well as show you how to do different elements of games, such as coding or using code in games to make them more complex, or using animations and stringing them together to make objects or pictures or things do some pretty cool actions and movements. So let's jump in. For this game I have a background, just a cool dark background. I like using dark backgrounds because it makes the content pop more. I have a simple rectangle shape, which I used PowerPoint. I just used the shapes in PowerPoint, and another rounded rectangle shape. I'm not going to show you today how to make the shapes. We can leave that for a different video, just in the interest of saving time. So yeah, this slide is the front cover. So we're just gonna go ahead and name the game Mastermind. And this button, we'll just call it Let's Play. So first, a little neat trick for the day. Normally when you want to go to the next slide, you either have to use the arrows or click on the slide. But if you want to make a specific shape go to the next slide, you click on that shape, you click on Insert, Action, and over here where it says Hyperlink To, so it would be none by default. You click Hyperlink To, and there's a whole bunch of choices here, but we will choose Next Slide. Okay. So that just means when I click on this button, it takes me to the next slide. Yeah, so that's just how the kind of action setting works for that. Let me just move my screen a bit. Great. Okay, let's go to the next slide. So this is where the magic happens. This is where we'll have the game. So this big rectangle here is where the people will be able to choose the color combinations. This small rectangle at the bottom is where the person gets to create the color combination that needs to be figured out, and this is the hide or the show button. So I'm just going to go ahead and label this hide / show. So this is the hide and show button. Another thing we need to do in this game, just to make it a bit easier to understand when making it, is to label the shapes. So how we would do that is we would click on any shape or picture you have in your slide. You click on Shape Format and Selection Pane. So you can see I've already renamed the shapes, but it's pretty easy to do this. So all you'll do is you'll see this hide show shape is highlighted. Normally it would be something silly like rectangle 1 or 2 or 3. So all you do is you click on it, you can highlight it, and then put any text you want. Hide show. So the hide show is this button. The selected BG or selected background is the square here. The choosing BG is this square here. And the background is just the background of the slide. Yeah. So let me just close the selection pane here. So first we need to make this little circle, the peg. So we go to Shapes, we choose a circle. Neat trick number 2 for the day. If you want to make a perfect circle, all you do is you hold down Shift and you click once with your mouse, just a click. And you'll see it makes a perfect circle, 1 to 1. For today we want to make the circle a bit smaller, so we're doing 0.92. You'll have to change both of them. And this is just so that it fits in this little box here. Of course you can make this box bigger and just keep the circle 1 to 1. That's up to you. Now to change the color of the circle, we want a more neutral color. So I'm going to choose this gray over here, it has this little ugly blue outline, so we change the outline to no outline. And neat trick number 3, I guess. If you want your shapes to look cool without doing lots of effort, you can go here to Shape Effects, Preset, and now you have a whole bunch of presets that just automatically add some shine or shadow or just some cool effects that kind of elevate your shape. Even some 3D kind of effects. This one looks like a button. Pretty cool. But we're using number 4, preset 4. We'll click that. And like I mentioned earlier, we need to rename the shapes quite often. So we go here to Shape Format, Selection Pane, make sure that this circle or oval is selected, and we'll call it Selected 1. This doesn't change anything inherently in the slide, but it helps when you're making animations and things so you actually know which shapes are being changed. Now it's time for the first animation. We need to make the color of the shape change, right? Because that's how it works. So every time it clicks, the color of the shape changes. So we make sure the shape is selected. We go to Animations. We click on Add Animation, and we want to change the fill color. The fill color. Now you can choose any colors you want to have in your Mastermind. I'll just start off with this orange color here. So I'll just leave it orange. I want to open the animation pane so that I can see what's happening here. And I'll just make this animation a bit shorter. The changing of colors will be shorter. I'll just make it as quick as it can go. There you go. Now we need to click on the shape again and add animation again. If you just change it here, it'll change this animation that's already been made, and we don't want that. We want to add another one. So we'll add animation, change the fill color, and over here you can choose the color. So I'll make the second one a light blue. I like blue. We click on the shape again, add animation, fill color, and let's make it yellow. We do the same thing. Click on the shape, add animation, fill color, change the color to purple. Alright, depending on how many colors you want, I'll do one more color. You can choose however many you want. So click on the shape, add animation, fill color. Let's make it green. No, red. Red's a nice color. Red. And one more. We need to change it back to its original color. So we'll go add animation, fill color, effect options. Now you remember we chose this color here, so we'll just choose it again. Okay. Now this animation, this first one is short. These are longer, so let's make them shorter. We'll click on it, hold down Control, and select all of them. And we'll make them all shorter, as short as it can go. So now we have all the animations, but you'll see if you try to play the game now, we can click anywhere. I'll click here and the color changes. And we don't want that because that's not how the game will work effectively. We want it to happen only if we click on this shape. So we click on the shape and we add a trigger. A trigger is basically which button does the certain animations. So we'll go trigger on click of selected 1. Now everything happens only when we click this button. We'll just run through them. So there's a reason we did only one shape. So now, well, we did only one circle, because now if you copy and paste the circle, it will have all the animations already made. If we just made a bunch of circles here, we would have had to do these sets of animations for all the circles. To save time, I guess it's neat or cool trick number 4. Trick number 4, sorry. We just copy and paste it. So we hold in Control C and then Control V, that paste. So now we want it kind of in the same line. There you go. Okay. If you want to copy it easier, you can hold down Control, Shift, click on the shape, and drag it, you'll see it stays in the same line now. Let's do it one more time. If you just do Control and drag, it copies it, but it allows the circle to move. We want it to stay in the same line, so Control and Shift keeps it in the same line. So we'll drag it here. And now you'll see on the side, these animations have been done for all the circles, but the circles are all named selected one. So let's change the names of the circles. Let's go back to Shape Format, Selection Pane. Now this is the first selected one. This one should be selected 2. This should be selected 3. And this should be selected 4. We can close this. Now you'll notice these aren't aligned properly. This one looks nice. So how we can, or a quick way to do it, is we click on the last circle, we'll hold in Shift, and we'll drag it all the way to the end. And what we do then is we click on this shape, hold Control, click on this shape, and the 2 in the middle. Then we go all the way up to Align, and we'll go distribute them horizontally. So this gives them even spacing between the circles. So if I close this, pretty neat. We've already made most of the game. We'll just click here, orange, I want blue, I want yellow, and I want red. Cool. So from here on in, it's basically just kind of a game of positioning the circles and renaming them. So let's click on one of the circles. We'll go Control C, Control V. So we copy and paste it, and we put it all the way up here. Let me get the nice position. I'll just put it somewhere here. Put it a bit up, a bit to the left. So immediately we want to rename the shape. I'm going to name them Row 1. Let's call it Button 1. So Row 1, Button 1. So these are all kind of in Row 1. This will be Row 2, Row 3, Row 4, Row 5. We'll call it like this. So Row 1, Button 1. Already we can see Row 1, Button 1 has the animations. So all we do is we click on the shape, Control, Shift, drag it down, Control, Shift, drag it down, Control, Shift, drag it down. As you can see, these shapes are not fitting in nicely, so we'll click Control, select all of them, hold Shift, and move them up slightly so they fit in. If you want to make little movements, you can use the arrow. I think I want to make this a little bit bigger. Let's do like this. We'll click on each of the circles again, holding Control. Holding Control. And let's just drag them down a bit. There you go. So let's go back to the selection pane. Shape Format, Selection Pane. So now again we have a whole bunch of Row 1, Button 1s. So we'll go, this is the first one, Row 1, Button 1. This will be Row 1, Button 2, Row 1, Button 3, and Row 1, Button 4. So how do you go from here? All you do is you select all of them, hold down Control, Shift, and drag. And there you go. We have the second row. What you would do now is you would rename them. Row 2, Button 4, Row 2, Button 3, Row 2, Button 2, and Row 2, Button 1. Okay, I'm not going to do this for all 10 rows because that would just be wasting your time and I don't want to do that. So I've already done that. I've prepared a slide for us. So here. This is the next slide. You'll see I named them a bit differently to what I showed you guys in the video, or what I showed you previously, but the point is the same. So if we go So as you can see, this is what it looks like so far. So we can choose our colors. You just click on the little circles and choose whichever color you want. Same here, the person can guess whatever colors they think it is. Now there are still a few things that we're missing. First, there is no rectangle hidden here or put here to hide the colors of the person who selected them. And secondly, there's no little pegs here which the person who made the color combination can use to kind of score the guesses. So we need to add something in for that. So what we'll do is we'll go back here, and just for the sake of speed, I'm just going to copy this. So I'll just copy it in here. The way you could do it is you could take this rectangle, Control-C to copy, Control-V to paste, and then you can just resize it by dragging here to however big you would like it to be. But I'm just going to do the quick version for your sake. So now we need more circles, but we need smaller ones, and they need to be a different color, right? So they need to be smaller and a different color. So again, we'll go to Shapes. We'll click on the circle, and the first trick I showed you to make a perfect circle, we'll just press Shift and we'll click, and that makes a perfect circle. But this circle is too big. We want it to be this size. So I click on it quickly to check the size. 0.27 by 0.27. So either you could resize it manually by holding in Shift and resizing it, or we could just make it the right size the quicker way and the more accurate way by doing this. So what we do now is we would make one circle. Like I showed you, we use one circle. We make that perfect, and then we can copy and paste it so that we don't have to keep redoing it the whole time. This one, let's keep it blue, because why not? Still no outline. Let's make it preset 4 again. And yeah, you can make this to any color you want as long as it's not black and white, because in the game Mastermind you use black and white to score the person who guessed. So let's go Animations, Add Animation. We'll do Fill Color, and we'll change the first one to black. Alright, we'll go again, Add Animation, Fill Color. We'll make the second one white. So if we go to the animation pane, we'll see, well, first you'll see kind of all the animations here, and then we'll see the animations for this oval. So we have black, we have white, and we need to add one more to change the fill color, change it back to blue, back to the original. So we can just do this. But again, these animations are too long, so we hold Control and we click on each of them. We'll make them as small as possible. Because the game has so many animations, this is taking a while. So I guess we'll just have to manually change it by just selecting it and making it 0.01. Sorry guys, I don't know why this is going so slowly now. I guess it's just because the game has lots of animations. And we need to change, first we need to change the name. So we need to select the shape, click on Shape Format, click on Selection Pane, and we can change this. Let's see what I've named it here. You can make it whatever you want. We can change this to, so it's the first guess, it's the result, and it's for the first circle. Again, there are probably easier ways to name this and more difficult ways to name this. This is how I'm choosing to name it now. So we've named it. Let's go back to the animation pane. Animation pane. And we need to add it to the trigger. Now you'll see lots of things here. These are all the circles. We'll go all the way down. Where is it? Result 1. Here. So now we've got those animations. So each time we click, let's have a look. It'll go black, it'll go white, and it'll go blue again, in case you make a mistake. All we do then is we hold Control, hold Shift, and we simply drag it. Now we've made a new one, we can rename it. So it's the first one, it's for the second button, so we call one result 2. Click it again, we hold Control, we hold Shift, and we drag it down to here. We rename it to one result 3, and we can click on it again, hold Control, hold Shift, drag it so that it's in line. There you go. And we'll call it one result 4. How do we continue from here? We simply select all of the circles. Oh, it's kind of tough to see now. First, I would suggest if you have this problem, close the animation pane. Then these little triangle or these little lightning things go away. Go away from the animations tab, and we can just click on it. Hold Control, hold Shift, and drag them across. There you have it. So again, we'll have to rename them. So this is going to take a while, so I'll just do one more just to show you. This is the second guess, so it's 2 result 1, 2 result 2, 2 result 3, and 2 result 4. You do not have to rename these if you don't want to. The renaming is simply just for you to know which shapes have the animations, so you can refer back to it later. Perhaps you forget how to do something and you want to come back to this game to check, or you want to give it to someone else or explain to them. You want to kind of change how you made it. This will just make it easier in the long run. So I'm just shifting these over now because they're not really in the middle. And for the sake of speed in this video, I'm not going to copy and paste all of them. You can do that by yourself. At the end, it looks something like this. You have, oh, there's one thing we forgot to do actually. So I'll do that quickly here. We need to have a cover for these buttons here. So we'll click on the background because we want something the same size. We'll hit Control C, Control V, and we just need to reposition it so that it's back. Alternatively, what you can do is you can click on the one shape and just kind of like drag it down like this until it's in line. So we need to select the shape and we need to rename it. So it's not the selected background, it's the selected, let's call it selected cover. So this needs to appear and disappear when we click on this button. So how do we do that? We can close this. We click on that shape and we need to give it the animation of disappear. So we add animation, disappear, and we want it to happen only when we click on this hide and show button. So hide and show. Then we need to add another animation to make it appear again. So we go add animation, appear. Let's check it out now, animation. Uh-oh. I don't think it picked up the add animation, so I'll just, oh wait, it did. We need to put this under the hide and show button. There you go. So now you have it. Let's change the order of these actually. Let's put selected cover first, the appear one, and the disappear one. So let's see if this works. We make it appear, disappear, appear, disappear. That way the person who made the code can cover it up and refer back to it if they need to. Alternatively, you can just keep this covered the whole time, and at the end, or the person can just kind of have a piece of paper or on their phone, just keep a note of which colors are where. At the end, once you've copied everything, it should look like this. Let me close everything here, go back to home. Yeah, it should look like this. This is your game. You have the front cover and you have the end part. All we can do is just move this up here. You can delete these if you want to. Another neat trick that you can do is you can select each slide. So you select the first one, select the second one using Control button, click on transitions. That's when a slide moves to the next slide. And over here where it says advanced slide, you can uncheck this box on mouse click. Now when you click anywhere on the slide, it doesn't go to the next one. Why are we doing this? We're doing this so that a person has to play the game properly. They can't just click here, they have to click on Let's Play, and they can go to the next one. We're also doing it in case somebody misclicks. They click here instead of here. If you were to have that box checked, then every time someone mistakenly clicks, it would kind of just end the slideshow. So yeah guys, that's how the game works. There are a few more ways to make it like a bit more upscale, a bit more professional. For example, having this cover, having a bit more color, having kind of a scoreboard here, that could work. Having some pop-up boxes saying some things. Perhaps having, let me put this here. Put this here, having another slide with kind of the ending. Yeah, but this is kind of the basics of the game. I hope you guys learned a lot. I really enjoyed making this video for you. One thing before I finish, I'll leave my email in the description below. I'm available for freelancing. I'm available to make any kind of games. I enjoy making PowerPoint games. I'm really good at them. And yeah, I'm available for any projects, big or small. So let me know what you think of the video in the comments. And if you need any freelancing work or help with a project, or if you require my services in any way, please send me an email and I'll be happy to chat with you, get to know you, discuss ideas, and work on a project with you. That's all for now. Thanks guys. Bye bye.